Scott just released their brand new Scott Addict RC and they changed the game. They released a bicycle that comes out of the box at 5.9 kgs. Obviously, it's going to be their most expensive model, but I love what they're doing there. They're basically saying, hey, screw the UCI rules. We're not making a bicycle about that at all. We're making a bicycle for the consumers, and I'm all about that. They're not going to put any restrictions, any guidelines on this bicycle. If the pros want to use it, they can go ahead and get it up to that 6.8 kgs that they need to be at. But why not make a bike that's a super bike? Why not make a bike that people want? And I really think they hit the nail on the head with this bicycle. They redesigned the Scott Addict RC, which I was already a big fan of 1000% before. But they took it, and I want to say, aesthetics-wise, just from full-on look at the bike, and they did a lot of good things with technology, which we'll talk about in just a second. Aesthetics-wise, this is one of the best-looking bikes. Like, it's a really good all-rounder bike. I think it's one of the top-tier climbing bikes out there as well for how they got it down to super lightweight. For example, the frame now is 640 grams for just the frame set minus the fork on there. That's what they're claiming the weight at. That is 50 grams lighter than a Specialized Tarmac SL8. It's in the realm of a Specialized Athos, but this bicycle is integrated and it's capable. It can take up to 34 millimeter tires as well, which I'm all for that for the future. I know a guy who used to be 28s or 26s only, but 34 tires on there, making a very capable bike. And then the tubings, the lines, the whole design of this bicycle, the rear stays that they did, the weave around the carbon layup that they set around the rear stays, the bottom brackets, the head tube. I mean, they're obviously getting better and better at making these bicycles. And yeah, it's not going to be crazy game-changing designs when they come out bikes, but they're taking a shape and redefining it and molding it and using all the technology they have to make a beautiful bicycle. So I think they did a really good job. So today's video, we'll get into all the specs and all the talk about what changed from the old Scott Addict RC to the new one. And then we'll talk about the lineup because their lineup is very juicy. They did a really good job as well at releasing great looking bicycles on here. Now, again, their Scott Addict RC Ultimate bike is 15 grand. And that is an expensive bicycle no matter what. When people think $15,000 in this world, I know it's messed up. They think S-Works, they think Pinarello. But with these Scotts that they have, the foil RC Ultimate and the Addict RC Ultimate, the main reason why is obviously the wheels. They have their Synchros, their Capital Capital SL tubeless disc wheels. These wheels alone are about $4,800. And again, aesthetic-wise, they kill the game in that matter. These are a hookless wheel, a crazy lightweight wheel. But if I ever was to go hookless, I know I'm not a big fan of hookless just for reasons. But if I ever was to try hookless, I would try these. And the only reason is because of the fact that, one, they look badass. Two, they're crazy lightweight. And if I fall and bust my teeth on them, at least I'll look good doing it. Okay? So that's the main thing. But they did a really good job for the rest of the line. They have a full Durace bicycle for $9,000. You're not going to see that unless you're going to Canyon. So they're competing with the market prices, which I love to see. And then they have other bikes as well. They have like a full Shimano 105 Di2 bicycle as well for $5,000, which is really, really nice. Love to see that as well. And with carbon fiber wheels, that's competing with. They got different colors. They're coming along the lines of becoming they're competing. I think they revamped this lineup and they're competing. And I think it's a bicycle that's going to hit a lot of the voids of what they were trying to do before. So I think they did a really good job with that. But anyways, let's get into this new bicycle. I want to get my hands on this bike as well. As you guys know, I'm a Scott dealer. I reached out to my rep the day of the launch. We saw the bicycle obviously a couple weeks early. They told us basically we're not going to see a bike until January unless we put an order in for it now. If we don't put an order in for it, we're not going to see it till April or May, I think. Scott USA is a little bit behind compared to Scott Europe. So anywhere that this bicycle comes in hand, I will try my best to get my hands on these bikes from the top tier level to the mid tier level because I'm excited to see. Yeah, we know the Scott Addict RC Ultimate is weighing in at 5.9 kgs. Stupid lightweight, 13 pounds. Crazy lightweight for a stock bike. But I want to see what these bikes are because this has a crazy lightweight carbon fiber. This has a crazy lightweight tubes, which we'll talk about in a second, and tires. So I will get my hands on it as soon as possible. But anyways, let's take a look at what they did on this bicycle. So the frame alone, like I said, they took it from the massive 940 grams and brought down to 640 grams total. So they shaved off 300 grams by this frame by just going ahead and making all the areas that needed to less carbon fiber, and around the seat post, around the seat collar area, around the rear stay, around the bottom bracket, around the through axles, everywhere where there was excess carbon that was there before. They went ahead and made it to a point where it's going to be lighter and stiffer. And this is obviously, they're going to say this bicycle is going to be a better stiffness to weight ratio. Obviously, it's going to be way lighter, so it's going to give you higher, stiffer numbers in that aspect in terms of the weight of what's performing at. 36% more comfortable, I believe it. Just reference the Athos, which is 595 grams for that bicycle. Everyone thought when that bicycle released it was going to be stiff as a board, hard to ride, but the way that they're designing these tubes and they're really focusing on the key areas, the skinnier rear stays help. Obviously, they added the 34C tires as well. But even at a 28C, I think they're going to be a very, very comfortable bicycle. We're starting to notice companies are taking consumer feedback on riding. Obviously, main consumers, that is focal point number one. They want to make sure that the rider is comfortable while riding the bicycle on the road. And for sure, I think that will go ahead. 12 watts faster compared to the old model. That is crazy late. Or that is some crazy numbers. That's basically saying that if you have the old bicycle and you buy this bicycle and you get on it, you're going to be 12 watts faster. So if you're riding 200 watts and I get on this bike, I'll be 212 watts, or no, sorry, 178 watts. I don't know. Math is bad. Basically saying that's going to save me 12 watts by going to this bicycle with being more aerodynamic as well. And a 34mm tire clearance. I'm liking this. Sorel S5s have 35mm tire clearance. NV Melee have 35mm tire clearance. It doesn't mean you need to ride it necessarily, but it's always good to have those choices. Let's say you wanted to go on a dirt path or a gravel ride, or some of your friends are going on a crazy bike path that is a little bit more rough. You have the ability to do so on your expensive flagship bicycle. They redesigned the cockpit and gave you a newer, lighter cockpit as well. But they did some really good jobs. The rear stays right here look beautiful. I mean, they said it's really seamless. They did better with the carbon fiber and the layup on there as well. And then for the precision engineering, again, the handlebar on there as well. Optimized geometry. These are all the white sheets. They're gonna go ahead and just they're gonna go ahead and what's that called? Pet themselves or whatever. Really go off themselves. Like, yeah. We designed this bicycle to be the ultimate climbing machine, to really get up inside there, to give you a rider-first feel, to really get in tune with the bicycle. The way we developed this carbon fiber is unlike any other bicycle company out there. We definitely put our work into that carbon. Engineer talk and white paper talk and bicycle marketing talk as well. But it does feel really comfortable. New cockpit as well. Lighter, slimmer, faster. This is really cool as well. They actually redesigned their out front mount to make it 12 grams, which is staggering. If you have seen I have an EXS titanium mount that is not 12 grams. So they're even going after their accessory mount. In the 5.9 kgs, are also, that's including a tool inside the handlebar weight as well. Brand new seat post with a brand new wedge, and also the integrated lights, what I think Scott is ahead of its time with this, with their foil. And now they brought it to their Addict. Not only does this make the seat post more comfortable with this kind of give to it because it has this kind of bend to the carbon fiber, but now you can also add a light on there as well, which is always nice. It looks clean, it looks flush, and it's integrated, and they're pretty cheap as well. Tools allowed inside the handlebar. I mean, they thought of everything. I think Scott did an amazing job with this bicycle. So on to the bicycle. Why is this one 15 grand? Well, this one not only has the crazy lightweight wheels, but the HMX SL. SL is key here because this is the only one that's going to be the 640 grams. This is the only bicycle that's going to give you their crazy lightweight specs. The SL is going to be lighter than the HMX. Again, it has their capital SL wheels, which are about $4,600 for the set. They are hookless and they're crazy lightweight. Now, in this picture on this bicycle, it is showing Schwalbe Pro 1s. In the picture on here, this has, I think, a lot to do with the reason why this bicycle is 5.9 kgs. These are TPU tires by Schwalbe, Aerothane tires and Aerothane tubes. I think they're referenced to be around 165 grams per tire. To give you guys a reference, my GP5000 tubed version are 225 grams. So you're saving a total of almost 75 grams right there per tire. Crazy lightweight. I'm sure it's not going to be durable, but that's going to definitely give it way more of a lightweight feeling to this bicycle. That is one of the reasons why this bicycle is saying that's going to come in at 5.9 kgs. That comes along with this $15,000 bicycle. It says it in the spec sheet here, but it doesn't show it. But obviously, it says right here, Schwalbe Aerothing TL Easy Tires, Fold 700 by 29C with a Schwalbe Aerothing tube. Again, a TPU version. So that's going to help out a ton of weight right there for sure. The wheels, I think, are 1,280 grams, maybe lighter. But they are saying approximate weight 5.9 kgs and 13 pounds. Stupid lightweight out of the box. And for reference, in case you guys are wondering, this was off an Instagram page. This is in a store, built up, no cages, no computer mount, no pedals, but it has the Aerothing tubes and tires on there. 5.9 kgs on here. Watch, I'm going to zoom in here. 5.87 kgs, fully built up. That's wild. Kudos to them. Kudos to them for giving the UCI the... let the consumer buy the bike. This is what I'm saying for the Venge. Make a crazy Aero Venge. Make a bicycle that I want to buy or rich guys want to buy so that way they can dominate group rides. That's it. And then for the full lineup, again, they go from a staggering 15 grand to the next model, $9,000. So you save a total of 6 grand by getting the HMX carbon, not the SL, so it's going to be heavier than 640 grams. You're getting Capital 1.0 S tubeless disc wheels. Again, these are their own synchronous wheels. They are still hookless, but they are just a normal carbon fiber rim with a normal, I think, steel or alloy spoke. And I think they're the regular synchros. But again, where else are you going to find a $9,000 Dura-Ace bike with a beautiful integrated cockpit and a beautiful frame? That, I think they killed it on that price point. They have an Ultegra version as well, which matches or mirrors the HMX SL, but it's pretty cool. So you can get, I don't like when companies do that because I feel like it takes away from the people who bought the $15,000 bicycle. This, if they're doing a paint job in the HMX SL, it should be like only to the person who could not afford it, but like, give them some kind of exclusivity. Here, you're still getting the integrated cockpit, the Ultegra Di2. You're getting the same wheels that came on the Pro with the Capital 1.0 S. I don't know what the S stands for, but we'll find out later on. And this is, again, $6,600. So we're starting to see pre-COVID prices. These are prices that you would see 2019 carbon wheels, Ultegra Di2, carbon bar. Beautiful, like mustard yellow. What the fuck? What the hell is that? Is that Taxi Driver? Ugh. I mean, yellow's cool if you're a Tour de France fan. If you're that fast. Then you go down to the Addict RC, which has Ultegra Di2 and just regular 1.0 wheels, not 1.0 S, and you save $1,000 or $900 here. No integrated cockpit, alloy bar, alloy stem, and then, like I mentioned before, $5,000. So I'm excited for this lineup. As soon as I get these bikes on my store or in my store or where I can see them, I want to see what they're about. I think they did a really good job with it. I think you're going to see a lot of these bikes on the road. It's a great looking bicycle. It's a nice, it looks aero a little bit. You got a lot of options for tire clearance, and you can do, it's capable of everything. It's a great do-it-all bicycle with the climate features on there. Extra clip. You want a Dura-Ace bicycle for $6,500? You want to ride Dura-Ace? You want to be the big boys? You want to have a Dura-Ace bike? Okay, spend $6 grand, get a Dura-Ace bike. I'm gonna show you something. Scott said, "Hold my beer." This is their Scott Addict 10 bike. It's not the RC. Scott Addict 10. This is a endurance bicycle with HMF carbon, a little bit heavier layup. It's probably going to be a little bit tankish. A 27.2 C-post, but you get the integrated bar and stem carbon fiber, the older style. The little bit of a hockey puck on there. But you're getting a full Dura-Ace group for 65 hondos with fulcrum carbon fiber wheels. What other company do you do that? Huh? Dude. Zoom in on that, dude. $6,500. I didn't even know about that bike. If you're an endurance rider and you're like, you know what, I just want a nice comfy bike, I'm ready to go, I want a Durace, that's a beautiful bike. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Kudos to Scott on this brand new launch. I wish I could get my hands on this bicycle in USA, but I don't think I'll see it till next year. So I even asked the rep if there's any demos or any kind of bicycles that I can drive to go view in a store. He said no. First ones will be making grounds in USA in January. So I'll be waiting here. But again, good job to Scott. I think they did a really good job with this bicycle. Anyways, guys, thank you again so much for watching. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Thanksgiving. See you guys in the next video.